Good morning. Thank you all for being here. Um, this is a tough day for us, but we'll make it through. I want to just acknowledge my colleague, Commissioner Isaiah Santiago, who's also with me. I like to read a statement, and then if there are any questions after read the statement, that feel free to ask your questions. Family, staff, and the Rochester City School District community, on behalf of the Rochester Board of Education, I want to address the recent developments regarding our leadership and reaffirm our commitment to collaboration during this transitional period. While we are saddened to see Dr. Peluso leave, we understand and respect his decision. We wish him all the best in his future endeavors and express our gratitude for his dedicated service to this district. As we navigate this transition, I want to assure you that the board is fully committed to maintaining stability within the Rochester City School District. And I'd also like to point out here, before I continue the written speech, is that we've got, Dr. Peluso has hired some great qualified staff. So we go deep in terms of our skill set in this district. I want to make sure that I point that out. As I said, he hired some great people, great talent that we have. We recognize the importance of continuity and are actively working to ensure a smooth transition. To ensure minimal impact to students and families, Dr. Peluso will continue his work as our superintendent until June 30th. At that time, an interim superintendent will be appointed while the board works with a search firm to identify a viable replacement. I want to emphasize our shared focus on the implementation of the school reconfiguration plan and navigating through the upcoming budget season. These are critical tasks that require our collective attention and effort. By working together, we can ensure that the best interests of our students, staff, and community are upheld. The actions we take today are investments in our tomorrow. I want to express my sincere appreciation for our students and families of the Rochester City School District. Your insights are integral to the decision-making process, and we are committed to maintaining open lines of communication as we address the challenges and opportunities ahead. Together, we will continue to uphold our shared mission of providing a high-quality education for all. On behalf of the entire board, I want to thank you, Dr. Peluso, and our community and our stakeholders for your continued support. We will be reaching out to various stakeholders as we move through our interim process and as we move through our permanent superintendent search. So thank you all very much, and I'm open to taking questions. The board has to make that decision. We have not gotten to that step at this point.
How did the meeting go yesterday?
We're very well. We're very well. We are really, we have a great relationship with Dr. Peluso. So I didn't expect there to be anything other than, it being amiable. People were feeling in their feelings because, we adore and highly respect Dr. Peluso. And so this announcement came as a surprise to us, but we respect his decision, and we're going to move forward.
Cynthia, when it comes to everything that's on the deck for the district that Dr. Peluso has been, fundamental in, specifically the restructuring, reconfiguration plan, how do you ensure that his replacement can bridge that gap and move the district forward?
Well, part of that is that we have to make sure that the person who is selected in the interim is fully aware intimately informed with the strategic plan, the reconfiguration, and all of the other things that we're doing. So they have to have a wealth of knowledge with regard to that. And then the board is here, as well as the staff is here to help us to move through on this. It's not going to stop the work that we are doing and continuing to do. We just have to make some adjustments at this time.
How does this feel compared to other superintendent departments?
It's because, I said to Dr. Peluso last night, I said, are we going to still, I feel like I'm losing a friend. So I think it's for me more emotional and because we work together very well and we were doing some great work together. And so, it's just a little emotional. And actually to your question, it feels pretty good because Dr. Peluso has left us in a great place. He has done amazing work. More than, in my view, than any other superintendent, and particularly where the board is able to support him in that work. I mean, school closure, school reconfiguration, looking at, what am I missing? The strategic plan and the board goals that we developed and how he was able to put the plan in place, the strategic plan in place based on those goals that the board voted on unanimously.
Parents might be asking.
Let me finish with him.
Oh,
Hold
sorry.
on. Yeah.
As you know, in the past, the board has been criticized for driving away superintendents. Do you feel in this case that there's anything the board did or a segment of the board did that could have contributed to that?
Well, let me just say that we are working on being more unified as a board. Remember, we have some new board members, and when new board members come on, they come in with their passion from the community. Remember how, I don't know if you were around when I first started, but my passion from the community and how you have to adjust from being a passionate and a community advocate to a governance to a person who governs, and that takes time to transition. Doesn't mean that you want to do the wrong thing or you're trying to just disrupt, but it takes time to make that transition. And so we're working on that, and we're having the Council of Great City Schools to come in and to help us with that, to get together and to work on that. We just went through a training on Saturday from the New York State School Board Association to help us to move from being an advocate from the community to actually being a governance advocate. So, yes.
So kind of going off of what you just said, with the board, some parents may be wondering, 3 superintendents in 4 years, the turnover, does the board take part responsibility for that?
I don't think that I would say that we take responsibility. I'll say it from this regard. We take responsibility in the sense that, we've hired the person. But I tend to want to look at the fact that we have moved this district even further in spite of the changes in superintendents. We continue to move this work. If you look at our graduation rates, they're continuing to go up. Any other questions?
What's your magic wand superintendent look like?
My magic wand superintendent? Well, one that we can continue to do this work with, one who respects the community, respects his staff, understand the importance of educating Black and brown urban children and to get them over the finish line so that they can become productive citizens of society, and to understand that this is difficult work, but it has to be done. And I think that you really have to be built for this work in order to get it done. It's not easy work, and I say that all the time. It's not easy. We've got criticism from the community, rightfully so. So that if the person can understand that we need to have someone who is committed to the work, understanding that it's difficult, respecting our staff, respecting our community, I think that we'll be on our way even more. Dr. Peluso has laid the groundwork for that in developing the strategic plan, the board with the goals. We're looking for someone to continue on that work, not necessarily coming in to try to change the whole system. The board is not going to accept that. We've got a good foundation, and we're going to move out on that foundation.
Do you have a feeling for when you hope the permanent superintendent will be in place?
That's going to take some time. We're going to look at identifying the interim, and then we will work on identifying a search firm. I think that's the first thing that we're going to do, and then move out from there. So I can't give you a time right now.
So in order to conduct this search, do the research, interviews, could that be a distraction from just the work that's already been done?
This leadership is not going to allow it to be. This board is not going to allow it to be a distraction. We are going to continue this work. And I think that I believe we have with this board the respect of staff, and that they know, and I'm going to continue to emphasize this, that we're going to focus in on the work. It's a lot of work that we have to do on behalf of our children. That's the focus, on our student outcomes. And, there are always hiccups down the line, and we're just going to continue to work. We're not going to allow it to stop us from doing this work that we're doing and implement the plans that Dr. Peluso has established.
Do you have a message for families who are saying, this constant instability, this is hurting their children, and in a way, this makes it look like their children are disposable?
Yeah, but that's not the case. Children are not disposable. If I thought that, I wouldn't be here 18 years, could continue to do this work. We can't quit. And I want our families to know that we're not going to quit on them. We're not going to quit on our children. We're talking about the future, and we're talking about our future for this community. We've got to make sure that on our watch that we're developing children in a way that they're career and college ready, and that they can come back into our community and take these positions and be leaders in our community. That's our intention, and that's the intention of this board. All right. Well, thank you all very much. Have a great day. Oh, Dr. Peluso?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you would. I'm sure you would. I don't have any statement. I'll take a couple of questions. If you, yep.
The educators, teachers, staff that we heard from yesterday, they were highly complimentary of your leadership. They're going to miss you for your tenure in the district. Two-parter, how hard is it to walk away, or maybe not that difficult? But also, can you address the board's dynamic that has been cited maybe as a contributing factor to your departure?
So let me say that 14 years between teaching, right, and then when I've come back as a principal, chief of schools, deputy, superintendent, right. So I have some relationships in this district that previous superintendents haven't had, right, and that makes it difficult for the staff, right. My older brother texted me, he said 33% people are going to be mad, 33% of the people are going to be sad, 33% of the people are going to understand. I'm not going to, I made a decision for me and what was best for myself and my family. And that's all I'm going to say about my decision. But yeah, this isn't easy, 14 years. And when I stepped into this role, that was sudden as well. Right, but I wanted to make sure we were doing work on behalf of our families, and I think, we've done that, and we've done that over the last couple of years to do some things that will have an impact for quite some time.
Dr. Peluso, this is a decision for you and your family. Can you explain more on your why?
No, it's my decision.
Dr. Peluso, last night, Mr. Van Peek that night, quote, "We will be losing him because of the friction on the Board of Education." He went on to say it was constant interference and impeding the work not only the superintendent, but his team as well. Any thoughts on that?
Just like I said, this is a personal decision for me. I will say my board leadership has been great. We've been able to move a lot of things in this district over the last couple of years.
And I'd just like to follow through on that because, as I said earlier, you come in as a community activist, right? And so you do ask questions. I did it myself when I first got in. And then it takes time to learn how to govern. And as I said earlier, we're going through training in order to be able to do that. So, while there was, people bring in their passion, who they are, and they see on the news that, we're not doing a good job, and, that's what they get. And so we're working to change that in terms of working together with the district even more. But anytime you get a new board, and this is a new board, you go through stages of performance. You go through storming and norming. and normalizing and performing. And so that's just a natural part when you get a new.
Monroe County, speaking more broadly, Monroe County School Boards Association and others have pointed to this shift away from school board leadership or school board members running for community service and more so for political agendas. Was that the case here, or in general, can you comment on that sort of trend?
No, I don't know people's intentions of why they run, right? I just know the board that any superintendent has is the board that they have to work with.
Dr. Caluso, do you have a short list of potential superintendents you'd like to see take over?
You know, I think those are conversations that I'll continue to have for the board. It is the board's decision. If they ask me for my opinion, my advice, I'd be more than willing to give it, and they could take it for what it's worth.
Was there a moment in which you viewed this decision?
I don't think there's ever a right moment where you think it's there. It's one of the hardest decisions I've had to do, right? There's a lot of commitment I've had into this district, right? You all have heard me say my wife's a teacher in this district for 26 years as well. So it's nothing that I take lightly. It was just a hard decision after a lot of reflection and a lot of conversations with my family and my inner circle about what I'm going to do. I think searches, if you watch how searches have been going recently, right? This is kind of the trend about how people are conducting searches. It's highly confidential. You have to respect that board, that community, as well as, the process.
What do you want to get done in the next 90 days? What do you want to get
We have a lot of work to still do, right? We have, reconfiguration that has to be ready and in place, right? We have a budget that needs to be passed, right? We have to make sure this district is fiscally stable and fiscally responsible moving forward. All of those things are work that still has to happen. So there's a lot of work that needs to continue. I would say that President Elliott said it. We have a great team here, a committed team, executive cabinet, teachers, staff, central office that are going to continue to do that work to make sure we get that done before I'm done on July 1.
One more question, guys. Thank you.
In your resignation letter, you said that you would continue to advocate for students here. Can you elaborate on what that's going to look like going forward?
Well, listen, the education of students in this city is important for this whole community, right? And so it's not and shouldn't be just on the shoulders of the superintendent of this school district, right? It's on the superintendent. It's on the shoulders of our community to make sure that our kids in this community and in the city are given what they deserve.
School reconfiguration.
Thank you.
And let me just say that that you communicate that we are committed to continuing this work. It's not going to stop, and the children in the Rochester City School District will be highly educated. Thank you very much.
Ow. Ow.